Columbia Workshop welcomes its friends from coast to coast to a broadcast of The Reluctant Dragon, Kenneth Graham's delightful story, adapted for workshop production by Nyla Mack. Miss Mack, who has a huge and loyal following among youngsters, is director of the two famous children's programs, Let's Pretend and March of Games, heard regularly on CBS, has produced two other attractive fables for adults on previous workshop shows. And tonight, she lends her talents to one of the world's great children's stories, which is even more beloved by adults. The Reluctant Dragon by Kenneth Graham.
Long, long ago, it might have been hundreds of years ago, in a cottage halfway between an English village and the shoulder of the Downs, a shepherd lived with his wife and their little son. The son spent much of his time buried in big volumes that he borrowed from the affable gentry and the interested parsons of the country round about. And his parents encouraged him because they knew that book learning often came in useful in spite of what the neighbors said. One evening, while he was thus engaged, and his mother was peacefully employed.
Boy.
Oh, yes, Mother?
Hey, what are you reading of now?
This is a fairy story, Mother. It's called The Giant with No Heart in His Body.
The giant with no heart in his body. Bless me now. However did he live then?
Well, you see, Mother, do try to understand. It was a kind of an enchantment.
Enchantment, indeed. Now, see here, boy. Your father and me have agreed that the family was to divide the labor. Us to supply the practical knowledge, and you the book learning. But this enchantment, fiddle-daddle, well, now it seems to me that ain't neither one nor t'other.
Oh, but, Mother, it is. It's most important that I know all about fairy tales, just as much as understanding the natural phenomenon of the aurora borealis.
The natural phenomenon of the... Father, whatever's the matter?
It's all up with me, Mariah.
Aye?
Never no more can I go up there on them there downs. Was it ever so?
Why, Father? What's happened?
Don't ask me. Never no more, that's all.
Oh, just sit yourself in that chair and tell us all about it.
Yes, tell us, Father.
Well, for some time past, there's been faint noises coming from that cave up on Downs. Noises like heavy sighings with grunts mixed up in them.
Oh, Lorraine.
What then, Father?
Then I catch the sound sometimes of a snoring far away down. Real snoring. Yet somehow not honest snoring like you and me at nights, you know, Mariah.
I know.
Oh, whatever are you talking about?
Yes, well, me, it's true.
I'm sure it is.
I was terrible frightened. Yet somehow I couldn't keep away. So this very evening, before I comes down, I took a cast round cave quietly, and I saw him as plain as I see thee.
Saw who?
Why, him, I'm telling thee.
Aye.
He was sticking halfway out a cave and seemed to be enjoying cool of the evening in a poetic sort of way.
Oh, tell me some more about how he looked, Father.
Well, he were big as 4 cooked cart horses and all covered with shiny scales. Deep blue scales at the top of him, shading off to a tender sort of green below.
What else, please?
Well, he had his chin on paws, and I should say he was meditating about things.
It's quite all right, Father. Don't worry. It's only a dragon.
Oh, a dragon?
Only a dragon, and what does he know about dragons?
Because it is, and because I do know.
Oh, well, what will we do?
Why, tomorrow morning I'll just stroll up there and have a talk with him.
Aye, well, that seems sensible, Father. As he says, dragons is his line.
I tell you, I ain't used to dragons. I don't hold with them, and that's a fact.
Oh, don't worry, Father. Good night. Sleep well, Mother. Dragon.
Huh?
I said, hello, Dragon. Here I am.
Oh, it's a boy.
Yes, I'm a boy.
Now, don't you hit me or bung stones or squirt water or anything. I won't have it, I tell you. I just won't have it.
Oh, I'm not going to hit you. And don't, for goodness sake, keep on saying don't. Oh, I hear so much of it.
Well, I know boys.
And I know dragons. I've simply looked in to ask how you were and all that sort of thing. But if I'm in the way, I can easily clear out.
No, don't go off in a huff. Come back. Sit here on the grass and let's chat a bit.
Oh, that's better. I am a little tired. It's quite a stiff climb up here, you know.
Yes, I know. That's one reason I moved in here. The view and that sort of thing.
It's magnificent, isn't it?
Oh, I'm happy as the day is long up here. I'm a lazy beggar, you know, and I enjoy the quiet.
Oh, you surprise me. I didn't think that... Oh, you people like that.
I do. You see, all the other fellows were so active and earnest and all that sort of thing. Always skirmishing, you know, chasing knights all over the place and devouring damsels.
And don't you like that sort of thing?
Of course not. I'd like to get my meals regularly.
What do you do, Dragon? Oh, that is, if you don't mind my asking.
Oh, well, really,
You're blushing, Dragon. Have I said anything rude?
Oh, no, not at all. Did you ever, I mean just for fun, try to make up poetry? Verses, you know.
Oh, of course I have. And some of it's quite good. I feel sure, only, well, when I read it, well, somehow they just don't seem to...
Exactly. They don't seem to. I'd like your candid opinion about some little things I threw off lightly.
Oh, I'd be happy to read them, only, well, I'm afraid it'll have to be another time.
Oh.
It's getting late. My mother always sits up for me, you know.
Oh, well, can't you come up here and dine or something with me tomorrow? Only, of course, if you've got nothing better to do.
Oh, thanks awfully, but, well, you see,
What is it?
I was thinking of my family. If I may say so, they mightn't approve.
Well, why not?
Well, you see, there's no getting over the fact that you're a dragon, is there?
What's wrong with that?
Well, don't you see? You're an enemy to the human race.
Oh, ridiculous. Haven't got an enemy in the world. I'm too lazy to make 'em.
Oh, dear, I wish you'd try to grasp the situation properly. When other people find you're up here, they'll come after you with spears and swords and all sorts of things.
Because I write poetry?
Oh, of course not. Because you're a dragon. And a dragon is a scourge and a baneful monster.
Oh, not a word of truth in it. My character will bear the strictest investigation. Now, look. This little sonnet thing I was working on...
If you won't be sensible, I'm going home. I'll try to drop in tomorrow. And do, for goodness sakes, try to realize that you're in a dreadful scourge. You'll find yourself in an awful state. Good night.
And so the boy spent many a pleasant evening up on the downs with his friends. But alas, what he feared soon came to pass. Gossip. Malicious, unfounded gossip, which, even in those days, had a way of spreading. It began at the tavern.
Oh, good evening, Shepherd. What'll it be for you, sir?
I won't have naught to drink, thank you. Is Burgomaster here?
I'm here, Shepherd.
He's I sent for me, Governor. I came as quick as I could.
I sent for you, Shepherd. I want to ask you a straight question, and I want a straight answer.
Aye, Governor.
A rumor comes to me that there is a new and most unwelcome visitor in our village.
That don't say.
Not only that, my man, but it is said your son, your own boy, Hobnob with him.
I begs their pardon, but I don't think so. Boy, keep fairly close to home, what with his book reading and all.
Don't try to hedge. Does he or does he not climb daily up to the downs?
Quite like he does, but There's no harm in that, is there?
And there he converses with a dragon.
A dragon,
A
Governor?
dragon.
A real dragon?
There's no doubt about it. Well, Shepherd, what have you to say?
It's true, Governor, he does. But then if I know him, I'd know he wouldn't harm a fly.
Rubbish. Stuff and nonsense. He's a menace. He cannot deny that he's a dragon, and dragons don't act like that. If he doesn't choose to behave like a dragon, that's his own lookout. I shall take steps immediately to rid the country of this brooding terror. Come in there. Why, St. George, of course.
St. George? Why?
Why? The deadly dragon.
To slay the dragon.
High time, too. You slay the dragon and free us from the horrid joke. Oh, my, what a fight. What a jolly fight it will be.
Go on up at the tavern.
He'll most likely hear our complaints first. Come on, Tom, let's go over and see him.
Fight. A real jolly fight. Slay the dragon. Oh, no. Dragon? Oh, dragon. It's all up, dragon. He's coming. He's here now.
Don't be violent, boy. And take a bit of that house fennel your good mother gave me and help me polish these scales. I declare there are some back there near the tail I simply can't reach. Properly cleaned, you know. I look like a turquoise.
Oh, will you stop that polishing and look at me? I tell you he's coming.
Try to remember that the noun governs the verb. And then perhaps you will be good enough to tell me who's coming.
It's only St. George who's coming, that's all. He rode into the village a half an hour ago. And I thought I'd warn you. He's got the longest, wickedest spear you ever did see.
I won't see him, and that's flat. Say he can write if he likes, but I'm simply not at home to anyone.
Oh, stop being ridiculous. You've got to fight him sometime or other.
Why?
Because he's St. George and you're the dragon.
My dear little man, just understand once and for all that I can't fight and I won't fight.
But if you don't fight, he'll cut your head off.
Oh, I think not. You'll be able to arrange something. I've every confidence in you. Now, just run down there like a good chap and straighten it all out. Oh, and do thank your mother for that rabbit pie. I enjoyed it immensely.
You say it'll be a fight to the death.
Well, I hope so. We haven't had a really good fighting village for years.
And this George strikes me as being a man as knows his business.
Aye, and the dragon won't have half a chance, even though they're betting 6-4 on him.
Right you are. My missus has already started getting the picnic basket ready and cooking the victuals for it.
Hello, boy. I didn't hear you come in. What do you want?
Please, ma'am, I want to see St. George.
Well, there's St. George says I'll throw down the hall. He's right sympathetic, he is. Run along. Lay up his deer.
Oh, thank you kindly, ma'am.
St. George.
Come in.
May I come in, St. George?
Oh, hello, boy. Yes. Come in.
Oh, thank you kindly, sir.
Well, what is it?
It's about this little matter of a dragon. If you're not too tired of it up by this time.
Oh, the dragon, yes. Well, I'd hope to rest a bit before I slay him. Is he on a rampage?
Nothing of the sort. That's why I came. You see, there's been a misunderstanding somewhere, and I want to put it right.
What's that?
You see, he's a friend of mine. He tells me the loveliest stories, and he's been so kind to my mother. Why, he's the most engaging and trustful person you ever want to meet.
But the fact remains that he's a dragon. threatening the lives and safety of the countryside.
Oh, you've been listening to those yarns around the tavern. Why, our villagers are the biggest storytellers in the country. All those beggars want is a fight. It's meat and drink to them. Dogs, bulls, dragons, anything as long as it's a fight.
Ah, this is an evil world, and sometimes I think that all the wickedness is not bottled up inside dragons. But now look here. Suppose at this very moment, some hapless princess may be immured within yon gloomy cabin.
Oh, there's nothing of the sort. And he would be more than shocked to be hearing you talk in that loose way.
You convince me. But what are we to do? Here are the dragon and I supposed to be thirsting for each other's blood. I don't see just how we can avoid a fight. Can't you arrange things somehow?
Well, look here. It's early yet. Would you mind strolling up with me and talking it over with him? It's not far, and any friend of mine will be most welcome.
Well, it's irregular, but you're taking a lot of trouble on your friend's account, so I guess that's the most sensible thing to do. Perhaps there won't be any fight after all.
Oh, but I hope there will be, though. Oh, a fight is so very interesting. I've brought a friend to see you, Dragon.
Oh, nice of you to call. Charming weather we're having, what?
This is St. George, Dragon.
How do you do?
Oh, pleased to make your acquaintance, I'm sure.
And, Dragon, we've come up to talk things over quietly. Now, for goodness sakes, do let us have a little straight common sense.
We hope to come to some practical business-like arrangement. Wouldn't the simplest way be just to fight it out and let the best man win?
Oh, yes, do, Dragon. Oh, it would save such a lot of bother.
You shut up, my young friend. Now, the whole thing's nonsense. A stupid conventionality. Nothing to fight about, and I'm not going to, and that settles it.
Oh, this would be a beautiful place for a fight. The great rolling downs for the arena, and me in golden armor showing up against your blue, scaly coils.
Oh, yes, Dragon. Think what a picture it would make.
Now you're trying to get at me through my artistic sensibilities. Not but what it would make a pretty picture.
You see, it could be arranged to spear you someplace where it wouldn't hurt you much. For instance, behind your foreleg, just here.
No, stop tickling me. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no, that place won't do at all. Oh, even if it didn't hurt, it would make me laugh, and that would spoil everything.
Well, let's try some other place then. How about your neck, Dragon?
Yes, all those thick folds of skin. If I speared you there, you'd never know I'd done it.
But are you sure you can hit off the right place?
You just leave that to me.
Yes, well, it's because I've got to leave it to you that I'm asking. No doubt you would deeply regret any little error you might make, but not nearly as much as I would.
We've got to trust someone as we go through life.
Well, I dare say you're right.
But remember, Dragon, you'll have to do your proper share of the fighting. I mean ramping and breathing fire and so on.
Oh, now there, you see. Do you realize just what it means to ramp?
No, Dragon. What does it mean?
Well, it means I've got to run round and round in a big, wide circle. It means sending waves and ripples of movement along the whole length of my spine, from my ears right down to the last spike at the end of my tail. You've no idea what that takes out of one.
But all those lovely blue shining scales rippling? Oh, you must look very beautiful.
The effect is pleasing.
Now, how about breathing fire?
Oh, but that's another thing. Now, I haven't done any breathing fire for years. It's surprising how quickly one gets out of practice.
Oh, but you will try, Dragon, won't you?
Well, all I can say is I'll practice. I can't promise anything else.
Dragon, I've been thinking.
Yes, much too much, it seems to me.
What I want to know is, what are you going to get out of this fight?
Oh, St. George, just tell him, please.
According to the rules, I shall lead you in triumph down to the marketplace.
Precisely, and then?
Then there'll be the usual banquet, I suppose?
Exactly. And there's where I come in, boy. At long last, I'm going into society.
Oh, just one thing more. There should be a princess. terror-stricken, chained to a rock, and all that sort of thing. Boy, can't you arrange a princess?
Oh, I can't arrange a princess or anything else at this time of night. And besides, my mother's sitting up for me.
Oh, it seems a pity not to have one.
Oh, do let's go. And, Dragon, please practice breathing fire, won't you?
Good night, Dragon.
Oh, breathing fire indeed. Still, one must do this kind of thing properly. Oh, well.
And so next morning, the people began streaming up to the downs at an early hour in their Sunday clothes and carrying picnic baskets, everyone intent on securing good places for the combat. The boy, with his father and mother, had secured a good place well up toward the cave, and Boy was as nervous as a stage manager on first night. After all, a million terrible things could happen, but it was too late to back up now.
Here comes St. George!
But he looks right gallant, don't he, Maria?
Aye, and in golden armor, too.
We're with you, St. George! The dragon! Where's the dragon?
Come on, Dragon!
Come out and fight!
Hey, boy, why doesn't Dragon come out?
Hey, what's the matter with him, son?
I don't know.
I say, look at the fire! Look at the brimstone! And the smoke! I can hardly see, St. George!
Well done, Dragon. Father, I didn't think he had it in him.
Time!
The fight begins. St. George prepares to attack. He lowers his spear. His charger starts forward. The dragon charges. One moment until the smoke is cleared away.
He missed!
George's horse bolted, carrying him almost up to the cave, but he has him now. He turns around. The dragon evades the spear. He crouches, a whirling combination of blue coils, spikes, and fire. St. George signals time. End of round one.
Hey, the Dragon's magnificent, wouldn't I say, Maria?
Aye, that he is. I could almost hope he wins.
Look at him! He's ramping!
My word, what a beast he is! Come on, St. George! Finish him!
Now, once again, St. George signals. He turns his charger toward the dragon. The dragon leaves off ramping, begins to leap from one side to the other. St. George digs his heel into the charger, attacks. The dragon slashes out. He catches the horse's tail. The horse leaps high into the air. And St. George has lost his stirrup. He touches the horse's mane. End of round two. Round two obviously belongs to the dragon. George has his horse under control now, and he's approaching a small boy in the front row of spectators.
May I tighten the girths for you, St. George?
Thank you, lad.
It was a perfectly splendid fight, St. George. Can't you make it last a bit longer?
I think I'd better not. The fact is, your friend's getting conceited. They're beginning to cheer him, and there's no telling where he'll stop.
But isn't he a jolly play actor?
Perhaps, but I think I'd better finish him in this round.
Oh, you won't hurt him, will you?
Oh, no, don't be afraid. I've marked my spot exactly. Time!
Now St. George wheels his charger. The dragon crouches. St. George shortens his spear. The dragon flicks his tail back and forth like a great cartwhip. The There's a tenseness in the air. Sir George urges his horse into full gallop. And now the smoke is clearing, and yes, the dragon is down. St. George stands astride the prone, scaly body. St. George wins.
I think not today, anyhow. Suppose we go down to the village and have some refreshment. Then I'll give him a good talking to, and you'll find he'll be a very different dragon. You, boy,
Yes, St. George?
I'll lead the procession. Suppose you lead the dragon.
Yes, sir. You're not hurt, are you, Dragon?
Oh, I haven't had so much fun since I was a little draglet and played on the floor of my mother's cave.
To the banquet!
And his subsequent reformation from direful scourge to exemplary citizen makes me proud to call him my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the dragon.
My profound thanks, Mr. Burgomaster, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't have said it better myself, boy.
Well, hush, they'll hear you.
And you won't forget your promise to see me home.
No, I won't forget. Shh, listen to St. George.
And now, in bidding you good night, as your patron saint, let me admonish you one and all. Don't be so fond of fights, because the next time you might have to do the fighting yourselves. I can't fight all the dragons there are, you know. And now I declare the banquet to be finished and bid you good night and Godspeed.
Jolly night it seems. Beautiful party. Excuse me. So very jolly.
Well, come on then. I'll take you home.
No. I don't feel like climbing that hill.
But you must go home, Dragon.
A boy promised to see me home. Boy better do it then. No responsibility on my part. Responsibility's all boys. Boy. Oh.
St. George! Oh, St. George, please come here.
What's the matter?
Oh, he's gone to sleep, and I promised to see him home. He knows my mother's sitting up for me. Oh, Dragon.
Well, we'll both see him home. Dragon, wake up. Come on.
Where's boy?
Right here, and he should have been in bed ages ago.
He certainly should have, St. George. You've been very inconsiderate. Now then, come along. No more shilly-shallying. You give me hold of your hand, boy. That's it. George, your arm. Thank you. An arm up the hill is just what I wanted. For he's a jolly good man.
Tonight, the Columbia Workshop has brought you The Reluctant Dragon by Kenneth Graham, adapted for broadcasting by Nyla Mack, who also directed the production. Alexander Semler wrote and conducted the original music. Next week at the same time, the Workshop invites you to be with us again when Philip Cohan will direct Jason Was a Man, an original story for radio by Jack Caldwell, who will be making his first appearance as a Workshop author. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.